All women will get wet by putting fingers on 3 places. Stay here and subscribe to know this supermen's secret. When it comes to the female body, arousal and pleasure can be experienced in various ways. While it is true that certain areas of the body can be particularly sensitive and pleasurable for many women, it is important to remember that everyone's experience is unique. In this video, real-life truth will explore 3 areas that are commonly associated with arousal and sensation for women. The first area we will delve into is the clitoris. The clitoris is a highly sensitive organ located at the top of the vulva, just above the urethra. It is often referred to as the pleasure button due to its incredible sensitivity and the intense pleasure it can bring. The clitoris contains thousands of nerve endings, making it a focal point for sexual stimulation. When aroused, the clitoris becomes engorged with blood, making it more sensitive to touch and increasing sexual pleasure. Many women find that direct stimulation of the clitoris, either through manual stimulation or oral sex, can lead to intense orgasms. Another area of the female body that is closely associated with arousal and sensation is the breasts. The breasts are erogenous zones for many women and can be highly sensitive to touch. Stimulation of the breasts can release oxytocin, a hormone that promotes feelings of bonding and pleasure. Some women find that gentle caresses, nipple stimulation, or even light biting can be incredibly pleasurable and can enhance sexual arousal. It is important to note that not all women find breast stimulation pleasurable, and preferences can vary greatly from person to person. Lastly, we will discuss the G-spot. The G-spot is an area located on the front wall of the vagina, about 2 to 3 inches inside. It is often described as a spongy, textured area that can be highly sensitive to touch. When stimulated, the G-spot can lead to intense sexual pleasure and even squirting orgasms for some women. While not all women may be able to locate or experience pleasure from the G-spot, for those who do, it can be a source of incredible pleasure and sexual satisfaction. It is important to remember that every woman's body is unique, and what brings pleasure to one person may not necessarily work for another. Communication, exploration and experimentation with a partner can help uncover what brings the most pleasure and satisfaction. Understanding and embracing the diversity of sexual experiences and preferences is crucial in creating a fulfilling and pleasurable sexual relationship. 1. Clitoral stimulation. The clitoris is a highly sensitive organ located at the top of the vulva, above the vaginal opening. It is often referred to as the clitoral hood and is covered by a fold of skin. The clitoris contains thousands of nerve endings, making it an extremely sensitive and pleasurable area for many women. Stimulating the clitoris can be done in various ways, including using fingers, a sex toy, or through oral sex. Lightly rubbing or circling the clitoral hood can create pleasurable sensations, and some women may prefer direct stimulation of the clitoral glands. It is important to communicate with your partner and explore what feels best for you. When it comes to clitoral stimulation, it's important to remember that every woman is unique, and what works for one person may not work for another. Experimenting with different techniques and pressures can help you discover what feels most pleasurable for you. Some women may enjoy a gentle touch, while others may prefer a firmer pressure. It's all about finding what brings you the most pleasure and satisfaction. In addition to manual stimulation, there are also a variety of sex toys available specifically designed for clitoral stimulation. These toys can range from small, discreet vibrators to more elaborate devices that offer different levels of intensity and pulsation. Exploring different toys can add a new level of excitement and pleasure to your solo or partnered play. When engaging in clitoral stimulation with a partner, communication is key. Let your partner know what feels good and guide them in the right direction. Some women may prefer a slow and gentle touch, while others may enjoy a more intense and direct stimulation. Open and honest communication can help ensure that both you and your partner are on the same page and able to fully enjoy the experience. It's also important to remember that clitoral stimulation is just one aspect of sexual pleasure. The clitoris is often referred to as the tip of the iceberg when it comes to female pleasure, as there are many other erogenous zones throughout the body that can be explored and enjoyed. Taking the time to explore and discover what brings you pleasure can lead to a more fulfilling and satisfying sexual experience. 2. GSpot Stimulation. The G-spot, also known as the Grafenberg spot, is an erogenous zone located inside the vagina. It is typically located on the upper wall, about 2 to 3 inches inside the vaginal opening. The G-spot is named after Dr. Ernst Gruffenberg, who first described it in the 1950s. Stimulating the G-spot can lead to intense pleasure and even orgasm for some women. It is often described as a slightly rough or textured area compared to the surrounding tissue. G-spot stimulation can be done using fingers, a curved sex toy, or through certain sexual positions that provide deeper penetration. When it comes to G-spot stimulation, communication and exploration are key. Every woman's body is different, and what works for one person may not work for another. Some women may find that direct stimulation of the G-spot feels pleasurable, while others may prefer indirect stimulation. Experimenting with different techniques and finding what feels best for you is essential. One popular technique for G-spot stimulation is the come hither motion with the fingers. To do this, insert 1 or 2 fingers into the vagina and curl them upward toward the front wall. Apply gentle pressure and use a rhythmic motion, as if beckoning someone to come closer. This can help stimulate the G-spot and potentially lead to intense pleasure or orgasm. Curved sex toys can also be used for G-spot stimulation. These toys are specifically designed to target the G-spot and provide optimal stimulation. They often have a curved shape that allows for easy access to the G-spot and can be used for solo play or with a partner. It is important to note that not all women may experience pleasure or sensitivity from G-spot stimulation. Each person's body is unique, and what works for one individual may not work for another. It is also important to remember that sexual pleasure is not solely dependent on G-spot stimulation. The clitoris, for example, is another highly sensitive area that can provide immense pleasure when stimulated. Exploring your own body and discovering what feels good for you is an important part of sexual self-discovery. Whether you enjoy G-spot stimulation, clitoral stimulation, or a combination of both, the most important thing is to prioritize your own pleasure and communicate your desires with your partner. 3. Nipple stimulation. The nipples are another area of the body that can be highly sensitive and pleasurable for many women. Nipple stimulation can be done through touch, gentle caresses, or even light sucking. Some women may prefer more intense stimulation, while others may enjoy a softer touch. It is important to remember that consent and communication are key when engaging in any sexual activity. What feels pleasurable for one person may not feel the same for another. It is essential to have open and honest conversations with your partner about your desires, boundaries, and preferences. When it comes to nipple stimulation, it is important to start slowly and gauge your partner's response. Begin with gentle touches and caresses around the areola, the darker area surrounding the nipple. Pay attention to your partner's reactions and adjust your touch accordingly. Some women may enjoy light strokes, while others may prefer a firmer touch or even a gentle pinch. Experimenting with different techniques can also add excitement and variety to nipple stimulation. You can try using your fingers to trace circles around the nipples, gently tugging on them, or even using your mouth to create a gentle suction. Remember to always check in with your partner and ask for their feedback to ensure that they are comfortable and enjoying the experience. It is worth noting that nipple sensitivity can vary greatly from person to person. Some women may find nipple stimulation to be incredibly pleasurable and even orgasmic, while others may not experience the same level of sensitivity. It is important to be attentive to your partner's cues and respect their boundaries. If they indicate that nipple stimulation is not enjoyable or uncomfortable, it is crucial to stop and explore other forms of sexual pleasure that they may prefer. In addition to the physical sensations, nipple stimulation can also have a psychological impact. For many women, the nipples are erogenous zones that are closely connected to feelings of arousal and pleasure. Engaging in nipple play can create a sense of intimacy and eroticism, enhancing the overall sexual experience. Remember, every person is unique, and what works for one may not work for another. It is important to approach nipple stimulation with an open mind, a willingness to explore, and a focus on mutual pleasure and consent. By communicating openly with your partner and being attentive to their needs, you can create a fulfilling and pleasurable sexual experience for both of you.